Yeah, so my name is Festus Kangu from Amotech Africa. I'm the head of the IT department at Amotech Africa. Amotech Africa, it's a test and measurement solutions provider. I mean, whatever that means, I know I'll still have to go a little bit deeper. So basically what we do, quite a chunk of our staff are engineers. So we do offer solutions in the energy sector. So for most of you who've had something like substation maintenance, calibration services. I know hospitals do have equipments that do need to be calibrated now and then. And most of our work is actually project-based. So you'd find that unlike selling products per se or boxes per se, that we do quite a number of our services within the project segment. So back in 2021, I was tasked with the responsibility of coming up with a solution that will be able to manage various operations in various departments at our company. And back then we were actually using several solutions. You'd find our finance department comfortably using Zero at the time. You'd find HR department having Wingbox that used to manage leave applications as well as payroll management. You'd have the HR department again having assisting for performance management, talent LMS for learning purposes, and then our sales department, which were basically using HubSpot at the time. So you'd find that while we had robust, what you'd say, robust systems in place, that there was a gap in that most of these systems could not communicate with each other. So basically, we explored an option of having, perhaps integrating some of these systems, and so that none of the activities is done offline. But then, as most of you will be aware, that this activity was actually futile. So our focus initially was specifically on a CRM system, because at the time we thought that our sales department and marketing probably were the ones who really needed a new system in place to be able to efficiently manage the operations in those various departments. So Amotech Africa, just to recap on it, we are present in 5 different countries with offices in those countries. We have about a team of 50, with 30 headquartered here in Kenya, and about 20 in the other 5 African countries, that is Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Ethiopia, DRC, and Kenya. So when I embarked on this journey of sourcing for a suitable solution, to be honest, I didn't know of ERPNext. So at the time, what anyone could do would basically try to seek some advice, for example, from some of our partners, that is in the financial space, in the engineering space as well, and just to see what also some of our customers were using, and also our partners. I've heard Frappe don't really have a number of requirements to become a partner, but in our space, they really even have to monitor everything you do, the regions that you've been allocated, and to that extent, they also needed some form of reporting to that effect. So some of the challenges that we encountered is that there were quite quite a number of areas that didn't really seem to be part of our daily operations, simply because that the system at that particular time, or what we were currently using, was not as efficient enough to be able to cater for that. So the system that I could think of was Odoo. I've heard some people talk about it: Salesforce, SAP, Bitrix, and Microsoft Dynamics. So up to until this particular time, these were the solutions that we were looking at. These were the solutions that we had engaged for demos and for all other operations at that particular time. So, and then out of nowhere, up to today, I still trying to figure out. I received a call from one lady called Lindsay from ERP, from Navari. Yeah, and at that particular time, like anyone, I believe, will do, when I received a call from our admin that somebody was actually on call, wanted to speak with the person in charge of IT, I thought probably it's just somebody trying to, sell something. Yeah, and we really get scared when we, yeah, when we know that there's actually somebody who is trying to sell something that I haven't really established whether I do need. But then when I asked what the call was about, then she said that it's actually about an ERP system. It just so happened that we were looking for an ERP system at that particular time. So then I reached out to Lindsay, who organized a demo, because we didn't really know about ERPNext that much. I just took somebody from finance. I think, I do believe we were probably the two of us or three. Yeah, just to, to give them some time and also to see whether they really have something that we could utilize. And at that particular time, to be honest, I was sold. Mushai, in his own way, managed to convince us that actually we could do away with all these systems and integrate all of our operations into one system. So what that meant is that we are going to cut on costs. We were going to at least have some sort of efficiency in our operations, in that the sales guy will not have to do a quotation on HubSpot, upload the same quotation on Xero, and have somebody from finance do an invoice to the same effect. At the same time, our marketing department was actually left out. So this solution seemed like something that we could at least harmonize and include all sectors of our operations into one system. So we scheduled demos, several demos actually. So we scheduled a demo, Mushai with our HR department. We scheduled demos with our sales department. We scheduled demos with our projects department. And at this particular time, one of the areas that we wanted to improve was actually in our projects department, in that when you are doing a project, it's quite cumbersome to be able to determine that if a project is going to be profitable and actually coming up with the costing for that particular project. And this ERPNext seemed like the solution that we would need. So we were impressed, to be honest. We were impressed with how we almost everything that we threw at Mushai said, that can be done. That is possible. This is already there. So, I mean, it was quite a simple decision to us. We took a leap of faith, considering that We didn't have any reference. We didn't even know of somebody that we know that was using ERPNext. So I think one of the considerations that the team looked at was the integration part of it. So having somebody do a quotation and then it flows through the workflows, it goes to an approver, and then it ends up to our finance department, and also the procurement department are also included. I think it was quite easy for us to then say that actually this is the system that we really need. And at that particular time, we were also expanding into these other countries, and having something, a feature, for example, like, initially, our team in the various countries were being paid in USDs, for example. But then we had an option here where we could actually pay them in local currencies and actually run that payroll within our system just the way we do the other payroll. And cost was also another major factor. For the other systems, it was either an annual license. There are some who tried to convince us that actually the license was one-off, but what we were going to pay off was the maintenance part of it, but we all knew that it was actually the same thing. So we analyzed quite a number of systems. I'll just give some percentages in our preference at the time. It looked like we were going with Dynamics. And then when you have the entire team, especially the leadership team, on the same page, finance, looking at the aspect of saving quite a huge chunk of cash, HR, not bothering finance to pay for their payroll system, and then their leave management system, and then their performance management system. I think that to us, it was actually like a turning point. And the extent of customization that we were being promised from the other systems, I think this one was pretty straightforward. Now, the good things aside, I think the experience thus far, I would say it's very positive. The organization is at a very good place right now. There's quite some learning curve in terms of some of the implementations that are still ongoing. But if you ask me on an expert level, I think we achieved probably more than 80% of what we were looking at. Yes, and that's my presentation, unless there's somebody with a question.